Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Rob Review. I'm your friend of success, Robert Morris, and we are live here. Look, guys, I'm here because I love educating. I've been doing this for a long time. This is not advice, but today we're going to talk about the options trading secret that you need to have consistent gains. You have to have this thing in place. And it really comes down to three pieces that have to be in place. And to get to those three pieces, you have to first understand that I believe options trading can only be done well if it's only with a portion of your money. And the portion of your money has to be sized according to your risk tolerance. So number one is money management. You need to not only have the money management right as far as the size that you're putting into the options account itself, but also how you trade it, your trading plan. We all know you need a trading plan to do things well. But what a lot of people don't do is they don't build a trading plan that has to do with not just strategy, but money management. See, money management comes down to how much do you have in your account and how much you're going to put into any one trade. I think it should be no more than 50% of the account, and most people shouldn't go near that amount unless you're like me. When I started, I was really broke. And so to me, my first trading account was $10,000 that took me forever to scrape together. So I needed to be able to trade with $2,500, $3,000, $4,000 of that money. So I was close to that 50%. And I had to be, because that's all I had. Nowadays, you have a lot more available trading systems, strategies, and tools out there, such as 0 DTE options or 3 DTE options or 4-day DTE options or 4-day to expire options. And you can trade the indexes. So you can leverage small pockets of money, $1,000 or less, which allows you to start with smaller amounts of money and still not risk as much, because the real thing about money management is how much you're risking in a trade. If your risk is off, your trading will be off, and your trading plan will never come together because you won't understand, why am I not taking the trades that I want to take? You go to execute and you hesitate. You go to execute and you say, oh, this setup really doesn't look as good. And you try to pick and choose what setups are the setups you need. The problem with that is trading comes down to probability and edge. And so you have to be able to execute without hesitation when you see your edge show up in the market. And it cannot be this edge or this edge, and one looks better than the other. It has to be these two I'm going to go in because they're what my trading plan says to do. Because ultimately, from money management, wealth is built when you don't just leave everything in the account. After every successful trade, you put a piece up for taxes, capital gains, and you put a piece in a separate account, and that is your trading profit account or your wealth building account. What you're going to do with that money is separate from trading. Buy stock, buy businesses, build income. Because taking money out of the markets will allow you to. I know a guy who started trading with about 100 grand. Back when 100 grand was a lot of money on Wall Street. His fund every year for 10 years started with 100,000 and ended with 100,000 in their trading account. And he was the laughing stock of his friends until one day he just didn't show up to the trading floor. Everybody was asking, where's John? Where's John? Where's John? And finally, somebody figured out that John was on Facebook, living it up with his picture, had bought a house in the Bahamas, because he had closed his accounts never to need to trade again, because that $100,000 account that seemed to them to never move, he had been slowly taking profits from every trade. A third of his profits went to an account that eventually had over $10 million in it. And he closed never to trade again, but to live off that $10 million, making 5% a month, doing things that I can show you how to do later. That's a lot of money, 5% a month, $10 million bucks. That's what proper money management does for you. The real secret is the proper money management combined with proper risk management. Risk management is about, when you get into a trade, how much of your money are you willing to risk? Sometimes you're going to have 100% losses. So I say you should be willing to risk 100% of that money. The majority of the time, you're going to be able to cut your losses quickly at 10% or less. But you have to be willing to emotionally part with 100% of that money to trade it properly, I believe. So if your money management isn't right, then your risk management isn't going to be right, then you can't trade right. And if you can't trade from a place of emotional stability, you can't see the charts properly to trade well. So risk management comes down to how much you're going to risk in each trade. When you get into a trade, do you know, okay, this stock's at X, I expect it to go to Y. If it backs up, where am I going to get out? I don't use stops because I know market makers can see them. But I have right there a hard stop in my mind. If it backs up, if the bid backs up from when I get in, I'm getting out, especially on certain quick pace trades. My whole idea here is to help you think about trading in a probabilistic standpoint, because really the secret is to find an edge, get a trading plan set up with that edge, to set and trade that edge without hesitation for at least 20 trades. After those 20 trades, then you can set up an account and say, okay, this edge presented 60% of the trades worked. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to do it with real money for another 20 trades and then reevaluate. And another 20 trades and then reevaluate. And what you do when you trade in sample sizes like that is, one, your life is way less stressful. Two, you can trade like a real pro. And three, you can see how you are emotionally involved in your trading and get better every trade, because at that point you can evaluate your trades not by whether you're profitable and not by whether it's a loss, but by whether you followed your plan to a T. And that's what matters here. There's a lot more to this, but that is so key. Is, are you trading with your edge in a way that allows you to really just focus on the edge, not the money? Because trading is a little different than gambling in that when you're playing blackjack, you don't have charts to read. But it is a lot like playing the casino, because the odds of a setup ever being the same are zero. Every setup is unique in the market. Every single one, which is why you can never, ever say, this is how it looked last time and it did this. You have to have an edge that allows you to say, okay, when this happens, I'm going to do this action. And over a period of trades, you can decide if that edge is profitable enough to move forward with doing real money trading. And then you continue to do those sample size trades for the rest of your career until that edge pitters out. A little secret, if you find a good edge, it will not pitter out for decades. The underaccreditedinvestor.com is where I write my newsletter. It's free. I'm here to give the underaccredited investors out there the edge to profit from the stock market like the 1%. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, remember, the market doesn't owe you, buddy. So don't trade it or invest like it does. Do your thing your way and focus on doing it for whatever purpose you have. Because I believe the stock market can provide whatever lifestyle you want in a way that is more freeing than anything out there when you really learn how to do it well.